In dealing with debt, a quick way to build up an emergency fund. For more on that, Tony Husbands, the debt-free diva, is here. Tony, you say the first place to start is with a budget.
It is important to really focus on and make this a priority, especially during this time. So I really encourage people to, number one, start with your budget, because you want to make sure that you are controlling your outgo, and controlling and really maximizing your income. So it's very important to start budgeting, to get those budgeting skills down. That's the first thing everybody should do when you want to build your emergency fund quickly.
What about finding some ways to increase your income?
So I suggest you start where you are. Start with your current income source. Are you employed? Are there opportunities for raises? Are there opportunities for additional projects, special projects that could bring more income, or even going after a higher paid position? So that's probably going to be the easiest way to rev up your ability to build up your emergency fund if your funds are low.
Do you have any other tips on raising your income?
Yes, and we don't think about this, but if you're receiving a large refund on tax day each year, then you're actually overpaying your taxes. So I would suggest you work with a tax professional and start implementing some tax planning strategies. That's an easy way to keep more of your money instead of paying Uncle Sam and waiting to the end of the year to receive that tax refund, but keep more of your money and build up your emergency fund quickly.
How about reducing those expenses?
Right. So one of the things you want to look at are ways to reduce some of your largest expenses. And typically those are going to be housing expenses, food, or transportation. So like take, for instance, housing. Maybe you can opt for a renter, rent out if you have a spare bedroom, rent out a spare bedroom, or if you have an option for Airbnb-ing a part of your house, or even if you're not going to be there or for the weekend, Airbnb might be a way for you to generate some additional income without putting out any extra expenses. Food. Take this challenge. Maybe you should try making meals at home for 30 days instead of eating out. That's a tremendously easy way to save money on expenses and redirect those funds into building up your emergency fund even quicker.
Here's a question a lot of people wonder. How much money do you need to have in that emergency fund? What would be a baseline number? Because some people might not be able to afford a lot of extra cash in that fund.
There was a study recently that half of Americans couldn't put their hands on $400 of cash within 30 days. So $400. If you think about the emergency expenses that you've had and say like just the last month or so, how would your life be different if you had just $500 in a savings account somewhere that you could reach in the point of emergency? So if 3 months of expenses seems insurmountable to you, definitely start with $1,000. Start there. Start somewhere. And then once you get in the habit of starting to build your savings, then you can increase that and continue once you reach your goal, once you reach that initial starting goal, until you get to the point where you have 3 months of savings, 3 months of expenses in your savings account.
Thank you, Tony. We hope to have you back soon.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.